There we go. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brienne and this is Bresknits. So it's been a couple weeks since I've uploaded, which is fine. But I do have a few things now that I wanted to share with you guys. So first off, what I'm wearing, I believe this is the Yall jumper by Knitwear. I think that's what it's called. I know she has the Montmartre jumper as well, but I believe this is Pigalle. So I really love the construction of this. I think it was bottom up. No, I don't think so. I think it was top down. I can't recall anymore. It's been so long since I made it. I think I finished it earlier this year in May. But here are the sleeves. I love the puff sleeve shoulder aspect of it. I feel like it definitely puffs up a lot more than a previous design I've made by Knitwear. So I really do like that. I love how the shoulders sit. I think it's a little bit more flattering. I have a bit of a broad, not broader, but wide back, so it kind of makes me feel not so broad, if that makes sense. The yarn is Explorer Knits and Fibers in the Rockies DK weight. The color is wool, I think is like the taupey color, and then Innismore is the light blue color. It is from their Ireland collection. Afterwards, I was like, oh, like I like the colors and I love the yarn. But I think that's when the whole like color analysis was coming out, and I was like, ugh. Like I think I had also had this taupish dress that when I had put it on, I was like, it's doing nothing for my skin. Like brighter colors are nicer and blah blah blah. But regardless, I really like how it looks, even if there's the taupe in there. I think it's fine. I still reach for it when I can, when it's cool enough, because I like how it looks and it's more about the design for me right now than anything. Yeah, so I guess just going about the basic format here, I will start off with my finished objects for you guys. Sorry, I thought I had seen something interesting. Also, I'm in front of my Christmas tree, as you can see. I just thought it'd be cute and festive and fun. I may also have been influenced by Laura Penrose because she's always looks so comfy and cute. I'm also drinking, it's like, what time is it? Oh, great. My sleeve is covering my watch. 3:40 in the afternoon, 3:50. It's close to 4. So I'm feeling like a bit of a pick-me-up. So I'm drinking some maple black tea right now. Are you guys drinking anything while watching? Do you drink anything while knitting or watching podcasts? I'm curious to know. But my first finished object is actually one that I've been working on. It will have been about a year I have made it. It's not particularly difficult or long. It's just that when I started making it, it was a test. I couldn't finish the test because I got pregnant, and when I got pregnant, I no longer felt like knitting anything for the first trimester. I was exhausted, and like the idea of knitting was like ew. It was like a big ache for me for some reason, so I couldn't finish it. But I finished it recently. It is the Daphne dress. It's by Friday Knits. It's maybe like on me, I'm 5'7", so the length of it is about mid-thigh maybe. The yarn I used, sorry, it's kind of hard to put up. Hopefully I can take a picture in it pretty soon. But the yarn I used is the Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino. I believe the colorway is Plum Rose. And then I used the matching mohair for the sleeves. I personally love it. I tried it on after I was done and before I was done too, to check the length. And it, like, I love the way the sleeves look. I love the neckline. The skirt portion, okay. So here's the deal. Most of the time I work with superwash wool. So for the most part, when I block, after I'm done wet blocking, I like squeeze some of the water out, but to get more water out so that way it dries a little bit faster, I put it in my wash just on the spin cycle, and then that's it. Just so that way, like I said, it can dry a bit quicker. So as I'm, sorry, something popped up. I did that with this dress, which I guess I should have thought twice about it because it was knitting for Olive. I think it slightly felted, and I only say that because for the I-cord edge, I had, like, when I had tried it on, I think it was maybe 2 inches shorter than what the skirt is now. And I had a piece of string long enough. I knew it was long enough to make the whole I-cord binding. When I took it out of the spin dryer, that yarn shrunk significantly. And so I had to spit splice for the bind off, and that was not fun, and it was literally felted already, so having to work it through anything was difficult. So I think the skirt shortened maybe a couple of centimeters. It wasn't like too far off to what it actually was, but I really loved the dress. I had the thought of potentially drafting my own dress that would look like a silky style dress, just because, like, I really love the look of it, but I kind of hate, like, I looked at their website one time because I was curious to see what it was made with. And I mean, I know you can sew it. I know there's a lot of patterns or tutorials on how to make it. First and foremost, I am not that great at sewing. I mean, I've made a skirt before, but also I think like the cutting parts, everything, I'm like, I'd rather knit. So I had thought about making it, and I had started something a while ago on just worsted weight cotton. Oh, that's what I was going to. So I had looked it up on the Selkie website to look at what materials they used, and everything was 100% polyester. And I had talked to one of my friends, and I was like, hey, that's so crazy, because she really loved Selkie too and really wanted a dress. So I was like, that's so insane. Like, you're paying $400 for, I mean, I know, like, I mean, given that they actually pay their workers or their seamstresses like fair, maybe that's the cost that goes into it. But I was like, polyester, you're working with just polyester. And my friend had said that she has some Disney influencer friends who, so like, they get hot immediately in the dress and will just take a few pictures in it and then change out of it, and then that's it, right? So I was like, oh, that's so awful. But then I put this dress on. Oh, like, my mind is everywhere. So I had thought about drafting myself one. But I was just going to do like the square neck with the puffy sleeves. And I had thought about kind of the same thing of like this is an I-cord. You know what? I might turn down the light. I have a light because in case, there we go. I think that's a little bit better. That was so bright earlier. It's an I-cord strap, and then you pick up with the mohair. I had thought about doing the same thing, but I think I gave up. Not gave up, but I just wasn't happy with the yarn choice I had made. And honestly, I just wasn't feeling it anymore, so I just kind of gave up on it. Well, yeah, I gave up on it. So I just stopped it. And then this came along, and it was everything I wanted. You have the faux, I don't know if you can tell. It looks like faux seaming down the middle of the front bit, the bodice. And then there's also another I-cord that kind of separates the top and the skirt portion. Again, it just kind of gives it that nice look. It's not really separated and seamed together. It's just all done in one go. So I really love how this looks on me. I had the intention, we have a Christmas party coming up soon for my work, and I was going to go ahead and wear this dress because I have it. I don't have a lot of nice holiday party style dresses. I had the intention of making an underskirt with it because the wool is so heavy, it does bring the bodice down a little bit past my natural waistline. And it does look heavy and kind of like not stretches, but I think it would look nicer with an underskirt. Unfortunately, I do not have enough time, so I will probably not do that and just go in the dress. I wanted to go full out silky and make the underskirt. And when I say underskirt, I mean more of like the tutu. Like I bought the tulle, but I was gonna do like those no sew kind of skirts for underneath. I would have probably made it shorter, which I had to be okay with, but I think I'm just probably gonna forego that because I don't have that much time. But I think it's really nice. I'm definitely still gonna wear the dress. I think it looks beautiful. It's like living the silky dreams. I was thinking actually about doing, like maybe in the future, if I'm no longer comfortable with the length of it, is picking up the bottom part of the skirt and then increasing twice as much of the stitches that are already on there. Sorry, I was to think about it. And kind of making like a tiered maxi or a tiered midi skirt, but maybe in like a different color. When I did pick out the yarn, I wasn't thinking about anything in particular, but then once I had the idea of potentially making a tiered dress, I was like, this kind of reminds me, I mean, it's definitely a lot different, but giving me similar vibes as Hermione's dress in the 4th Harry Potter movie. So I was like, oh, it could definitely like do colors like that, because hers is like a pale pink. I mean, it is, instead of a sweetheart, it's more like triangles, I guess, and then the sleeves are more fluttered and not just a poof sleeve. But I think eventually that, you could continue to add on. The only thing too is I found that with the Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino, every ball only really added 2 inches or so. So I didn't really feel like I needed to add another one. But that is my first finished object done. Wow, I spoke like 10 minutes about that. Anyway, time to put that away. I also have for finished object, it's a Christmas present. I wanted to show it before I put it in the person's bag, but it is the Edda bag by Paula Street. I think that's her name. So it does stretch a lot more like that. It's just a basic market bag. There we are. It was pretty quick to make. I have a baby, so quick is relative now, but I think it took like a week. I did size down on the needle size that was recommended. I think it was a 7mm. Yeah, I think it was 7. But in the pattern, she says that if you knit, like it's intended to be knit tight. So if you knit loose, to go down a size, which in lace or like yarn overs, I tend to knit a little bit looser. So I did size down on the needle size. The yarn is I can't say things. Shiny Happy Cotton by Wool and the Gang. It's in the color Eucalyptus. I think my husband had bought me some a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, and I purchased more for the said potential silky dress in my head. So that's not happening anymore. So I have a ton of this colorway. I think maybe I have like 10 balls total. So I just decided to again, so just use what I have. I made a vest in this color a while ago too, and I still have more. So I just thought I'd use it. There are definitely a ton more. This is a paid for pattern, and there are a ton of market bags that are for free that are also great. But I just really liked the way the pattern looked. I don't know. There was something different about it that I really enjoyed. So here it is. Ta-da! Throwing it in as part of a, not group of gifts, but it's part of a gift for somebody. That's not their only gift. Anyway, on to the next thing. So the next finished object I have to open up my notes here so I can see who's the one that made it. Okay, so these are called the Woodland Loafers. It's by Claire Slade. There you go. So the yarn that I used was leftover yarn or scrap yarn that I had in my stash. The pink, you might recognize it. It's actually from the extra ball of yarn I had from my Daphne dress. So it's Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in Plum Rose. The pattern calls for bulky, so that's why I held two yarns together. The second yarn is a Woolfolk yarn. I forgot what it was called, but it's a worsted weight yarn. I'll go ahead and write it in the description. But yeah, I just wanted to make some slippers as Christmas gifts. I don't know if my family really watched these, so I'm not going to say who it's for. But I did make the smallest size, and it kind of gives that little, I mean, there's two different color strands together, so just gives a little extra fun effect there. The bottom is garter. And this loafer in general is just not, like, it's not knit in pieces and you have to seam. It's knit all together, which I really appreciated. So these were very quick to make. I believe one slipper itself took about 2 days. Again, I have a baby, so take that with a grain of salt. But for me, that's pretty quick. So I'm definitely going to make another pair for somebody else. I'm going to just hold, I have more of the Woolfolk yarn, so I'm going to just hold 2 strands of that together for that next person. I actually had used that Woolfolk yarn for a Sophie scarf for my mom for her birthday. So I just used that extra in here too. And then the extra that I still have, because I have a full other skein, I'm going to use for slippers because it feels really nice. So why not? So that's the finished objects. I also have one more finished object. I had showed it to you guys last time, but it is the finished Moby sweater baby. Ugh, sorry guys, the lighting outside isn't doing so hot right now, and my artificial light doesn't really show off the color that well, but hopefully you were able to see it in the last video a little bit better. It just looks a little bit blown out. Let me see if I can lower the light a little bit. I would say this is true to color. It's like a dark purple color. But I finally finished it. I think all I had left was really second part of the sleeve and then the neckline. So both sleeves are done. Neckline is done. I actually had to do the neckline twice. I did it the way it was before. I'm gonna put that up a little bit. I did it the way it says in pattern, but the double folded neckline was, so I made the 6 to 9 size, 6 to 9 months. But the folded brim was not wide enough of an opening for my son. So I just ripped it back. I did a few centimeters of the ribbed, and then I just did a very stretchy bind off. because when I did it with the double folded, I tried putting it over his head and his head was just too like wide. I think, I can't remember if I went up a needle size. No, that's what I did. Okay, so I also changed the needle size. I used the same needle as I used for my body, or for the body, and then bound off with a stretchy bind off. So that way it was just nice and loose up at the top. Otherwise, like I said, I just couldn't get it over my son's head. It was just kind of getting stuck right here. And I felt bad for him. So I just ripped it back and just made an easier, wider opening. It doesn't look as nice and clean, but it fits him. And it looks really cute on him. I love it so much. I wanted to take a picture of him and put it on Instagram, but I just haven't been able to get to it yet. But it's adorable. I love it. I can't wait to make my husband's. That was supposed to be his Christmas gift, but I don't think I'll be able to get it in time for Christmas. So he's going to have to get something else, and that's going to have to be his winter gift. So these are all of my finished objects. On to the WIPs. So I only really have one WIP on my needles at the moment because it is taking me so long right now to finish it. I can't really show you too much, but let me see if I can try to gather this together. For the Daphne dress, I had thought about a cute little capelet for the holiday party, because even though traditionally for Christmas, you know, everybody's either in red or green, or some people wear black too, or like metallic dresses. I just thought if I went with, I mean, the pink I picked a long time ago, right? But I do think that pink also looks really nice on my skin. And I know like some people like to be cute little winter princesses. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just like kind of go with that theme. The theme of the party actually is like a winter wonderland, but like very Frank Sinatra winter wonderland, not like elves going through the forest kind of winter wonderland. But I've decided to make a cape, or I wanted to make a cape with, I had a lot of plum rose mohair left over for some reason. That's what it is. It's because I used some too for the Eloise top by Friday Knits as well. And I had also used the same colorway of plum rose. So I had quite a bit left. I was looking for like the perfect cape pattern. Sorry, my throat is getting a little dry, so I need some tea. So I was rummaging through Ravelry, but I only had the mohair that I was willing to use with it. I had thought about making, I have a lot of extra, it's like a baby pink fingering weight yarn. I thought about using that with the mohair, but I was like, you know what, I just want to use the mohair and that's it. So I was kind of looking around Ravelry for a cape pattern that was not a bulky weight pattern, but I wasn't really finding anything to my liking. So right now I am making an extended Sunday collar at the moment. I don't think you can really see it that well. I'm like mid-row, so that's not really the best to show off. There we are. That's going to have to be good enough. So I'm doing a Sunday collar, like I had mentioned, by Petite Knit. I'm just holding 2 mohair strands together, and I went up a needle size. I think it's a 4, yeah, I'm a US size 6 or a 4mm needle. So it's coming up nearly, I mean, it's slightly bigger, which is good, and airier than the actual, you can kind of see it, and then the actual collar, but the mohair kind of like fills in those gaps. So I am making this. I do want to make it, I think I even, in my search for a cape, I had even went back Creabea's videos and was just frantically looking through them because I remember she had made her mom a wrap for like fancy events. Fancy, I was gonna say fancy events, for fancier events like charity events and such. So I was kind of looking through her videos too, and then I come to find it's just a wrap and it's not exactly what I was looking for. So I was like, oh, okay, let me continue to look. And then I was just like, you know what, I'll just extend the collar. I do like how the collar looks anyway. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm just holding 2 strands of knitting for olive mohair together. The color is in plum rose, and I just am using a bigger needle size. I thought I would go ahead and do the bigger size because I thought it'd be like a lot more airy than it is, but I guess maybe only if I was only using 1 strand and not using 2 strands together. But that's okay. That's fine, really. I thought it'd go by a little bit quicker, but I think I've started this. It's been about a week and a half now. But also, again, baby, so it takes me a little bit longer now. If I didn't have the baby, I probably would have finished it already. I am adding 2 additional, increase rows. So where the pattern stops, I'm continuing for 6 to 7 more centimeters and adding the increases in between those. And then from there, I was just going to continue until it hits about 30 centimeters, which ideally would be about here. I'm trying to see if I could finish out the row so I could show how long it looks so far. Really, I think it's just kind of hitting over the shoulder as we speak, so I kind of need to continue on for a bit. The party is this Saturday though, so I don't know if I'll have that time. I do also just want to go ahead and make an I-cord tie for it. I had thought about potentially using a ribbon, but I kind of want to use what I have, and the ribbons that I do have, really it's only ribbon. The ribbon I have is a green ribbon, and I know pink and green go pretty well together, but I don't feel like putting that with this because it's not really the look I'm looking for at the moment. So yeah, that is about it. I don't have any other WIPs other than this because I'm trying to frantically finish it. I mean, I guess technically, hold on, let's see. I guess technically I did start on another woodland loafer. I have a few rows on it. There we go. Whatever. It's nothing crazy. I haven't gotten too far. But like I said, it doesn't take me too long to finish them. So I think I'm only going to make those like as additional gifts for people. I don't think I'm going to worry too much about gift knits. I'm just going to make those and be done with them. I think I did promise my husband a pair of slippers too, so I will probably make him some as well. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I've been so into everybody's videos recently. I love Christmas, even though in Southern California it is warm this week. I love just the feeling of wanting to be cozy under the blankets and having hot tea all the time and baked goods and wanting to bake things for people and getting together with everybody constantly to do all the cute Christmas things. It just brings me a lot of joy, and I do like watching Vlogmas too because I mean I can't do everything, so it's always nice to see how everybody is doing Christmas for themselves. I actually now, since I have a baby, how many times am I going to say that? But now that I have a baby, my husband and I were talking about what are some potential, my camera cut me off, rude. Anyway, so my husband and I were talking about potential traditions that we'd want to start. And I was looking at, I told them like, oh, I really liked the idea of advent calendars. I think it's fun. You know, also, everyone always says it, like you have to create the magic for your kids. So we definitely want to create the magic. So I was like, oh, I really like the idea of advent calendars. I think they're really fun. I don't really know the origin of advent calendars, but I mean, we've never really done them. Like growing up, I didn't really do advent calendars. So it's fairly new to me, but I know a lot of yarny people do advent calendars. I think the first time I had seen it, mostly because I wasn't following too many people at the time, was with Fable Knitwear, and I had wanted one of hers, but with shipping costs and everything from Norway to the United States, I was like, it's okay, I'll wait. But now I'm like, oh, I love everybody's, like seeing everyone's advents. They're so cute. And I was watching Francesca from an Italian knitter, and she kind of, I think she talked about swapping with somebody that she knows, of like putting together 10-gram balls of yarn and just making it into almost like a recycled, I guess you would call it, or scrappy advent, because you're using your scraps. So you're kind of recycling wool, so that way it doesn't go to waste, to give to somebody else, and then they do the same thing and give them to you. I think that's absolutely adorable and cute. It made me want to go ahead and start rounding up 10-gram balls of yarn, even though I have no one to exchange my yarn with. I just think that'd be fun to do, and I'll probably be thinking about that in the future for next year, if I have someone to exchange that with. But I think that would be a lot of fun. But I do have another idea that I am planning on doing for Christmas or Christmas gatherings. I have a few scraps of yarn. It's a little crinkly, sorry about that. But I have some balls and skeins of yarn that I'm not using. Some of them are acrylic, and I just don't like the way that they feel anymore, or don't think that they would suit me personally to wear for garments, as I do sweat a lot easier in them. Like this is just paint box yarn in like a cream color. I have quite a few bulky yarns that I've just didn't finish, that they're just wound up in little balls that I have. This is also paint box DK in like a green color. I have a lot in purple, a lot of lighter colors. This is my Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino and Plum Rose that I have left over. I have no plans for it, so what I had in mind instead, hold on, wait for it, is to make little pom-poms. So I had seen this a while ago of kind of making a pom-pom rug. I had thought that was a really cute idea, so I just kind of thought with whatever time extra I have left, I can just go ahead and make pom-poms of different sizes from my scrap yarn if it just seemed a little bit less than 10 grams or so. This is a, let me put down the light a little bit. This one is Parma from Explore Knits and Fibers from her Roma collection. This color, this blue, I believe is called Captain. It's from the Shiny DK from Knit Picks, I believe. I also have a really big pom-pom. That is Wool in the Gang, Sexy Wool, I think. Or, I don't know, something like that. So I have a few that I've already made so far. But what I had said was to, or mentioned to my friends, is that it could be fun, could be cute, could be a cute look for us, to go ahead and make some pom-pom garlands when they come over, because we're going to be having a friend miss here at my house, And then I had also mentioned to my family that maybe on Christmas Eve we can just make pom-pom garlands, and I was even going to tell them like you can make a rug too. So I probably have more than enough yarn for everybody to make something that they want. I have some, I still kept the string on it in case, I don't know why, maybe if someone brings like rug, what do they call it, like the non-slip rug mats, then you can just loop it through and tie it. But I have some pom-poms I made already, and I have the pom-pom makers. I know you can make them with cardboard, but I personally do not have that patience, so I just got pom-pom makers a while ago, and like I said, I've just been making them kind of as I go along, or if I feel like I need a break from knitting, I've been doing that. I recently purchased craft glue in case some people don't like their pom-poms moving all over the twine. Also got some colorful twine to fit everybody's personality and needs. And I have all of this yarn that can be made into pom-poms. So I think we're looking good. I have some neutrals. I have the bright green, purple, brown, cream. This one is a fluffy maroon-ish color. I have like a taupe brown in there. I have a speckled brown from Lion Brand in there. So I have quite a few choices. So that's kind of a fun little, I guess, recycled project that I'm going to be doing with my family. So I don't know. I guess I just thought about that. I know that the pom-poms aren't new or revolutionary, so but I just thought I'd share that. I've just been making some of those pom-poms throughout the year. I also have thought about making them for like a cute little mobile toy for my son for his crib. But I mean, I might still do it. I might still do it Christmas Eve with my family and just kind of make something separate for me. I was even going to text them and be like, if you guys have foam circles or foam anything, we can just glue the pom-poms onto it and it'll be fun. Anything to make pom-poms, I suppose. But I'm very excited for Christmas time. I hope that I can get another video out before then, or maybe before the end of the year. I'm not really sure right now. Things are kind of up in the air sometimes. Like even right now, me recording this was kind of last minute. But I'm really thankful that I was able to record for you guys and kind of share what I'm working on. I'm also trying to fill the time because I am nearly done with this row. And I really want to show you guys how far along I'm getting. The only thing that's awful is because I decided to add 2 more increased rows, is that I am now going to have a 5x5 rib. So that's probably what's taking so long too to finish this, is it's not a simple rib, like 2x2 rib or 3x3 rib. It is 5x5 now, or it's going to be 5x5 by the time I finish those increases. So that's great, I guess. So we're gonna see how that goes. I'm almost done. The edges of the collar are double knit, so I'm nearly there, folks, nearly there. Okay, and fiend. Okay, let's see. So I was working on the inside, or the wrong side. This is the outside. Okay, the right side. So far, I'm planning on wearing it here. I'm planning on wearing it about here. So we have at least slightly over the shoulders. I had wanted one that was a bit more circular and not so like squared off, I guess, or rectangular. But I don't know, when I looked at other little capelets, It just seems like the rectangles, the moo. I can probably do a circular one when I actually have yarn I purchased for a specific pattern instead of just using my scraps. But I was kind of hoping that this sunbursty motif will kind of open up and allow that finish to look a little bit more wide rather than, I mean, it's ribbed, so it definitely will, but I'm just kind of hoping after I block it, it'll open up a lot more and be a little bit more like lofty, like a cape. I had also thought about just knitting until I was done with my yarn. I have this much left of one ball I'm working with currently. I have this much left as well on another one. And then I have one left. See, this one I kind of just tied up a while ago. So I have this much left. So I thought about just going until I'm done with them, but I think I'm just going to go up to about 30 centimeters. We shall see. I also have to remind myself that I have an applied I-cord I have to do for the edge and then make that, to continue that I-cord to tie off. I could also do a button, but I don't know if I want to do a button. I suppose it really is meant for button, so I can do that. Let me see. That way I can do this, but I guess I'm not afraid, but if I do the button, it doesn't really feel like it'll have that cape effect. It'll just be a collar as it is meant to be in the pattern. But I think I'm just gonna tie it about here, like in the middle of like right at the start of the collarbone area. So that way it can come down over my shoulders a little bit more, give me a little bit more heat and cold protection. So we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully I can post a picture for you guys on Instagram soon, but yeah, that's all for now, guys. I don't really have anything else to share. I hope you guys have a really great next few weeks or so. I hope to see you guys soon, and I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, Merry holidays. Got cut off again. Anyway, I will be finished soon, I promise. Anyway, I will definitely be getting Yarn Advent next year because I have serious FOMO, and I love seeing everybody open theirs every day. It is so cute, and like I said, I've just been obsessed with Laura's, her, what was it, the fade one, the golden hour one, and then Rebecca's Advent. I think she has, one of them is the 2005 Pride and Prejudice from Hello Stella. That one is immaculate, so I will definitely be getting one next year. They seem like a lot of fun. But if you do any other advents, like you do chocolate advents, or you just have those cute little advent calendars and just fill things up yourself, I want to know, because that's definitely a tradition that I would be interested in starting in the next year. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have a season full of coziness and fun knitting, not just stressful knitting. And I hope nothing makes you stressed out. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great one. I hope you guys are able to just fill this season with warm and happy memories. Okay, bye everybody.